So, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be covering Moon through Gemini Ascendant. And today we're going to cover Moon in the first house in the sign of Gemini for Gemini Ascendant people. Okay, and what happens when Moon is in the first house, number one, in the sign of Gemini, number two, while it's ruling the sign of Cancer in the second house, number three, and its Mool Trikon sign is in the 12th house, number four. And as always, if you do not know, if you have this position, what sign it's in, what nakshatra it's in, all the other astrological details, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, Aspects, and Mahadashas at the Speed of Light, including all my consultations at this link, and link to my school, Maga Vedic Astrology, where I'm currently discussing the Samsha chart and all the other divisional charts. So let's get started with this moon placement. So the first thing we see with this particular placement is that right after you were born, whether you're the first child, second child, fourth child, when you were born, the resource of the family started coming to you. Meaning you got most of the resources, meaning when the food was given, somehow you took more than other people's share. When you wanted clothes, you got the better of the resources of the family. And specifically in certain condition, not always, in certain condition, mother will become the enemy for this individual. And especially part of your purpose of birth will most definitely have things to do with marketing, media, writing, or journalism. It's going to be one of your purpose of birth, whether it's, at the age of 15 or 25 or 65. The other thing we also see is that such an individual will be a great bhakt of Shiva. Will be a great bhakt of Shiva. But also what happens is there would be circumstances with this individual where there may be some story of eloping playing out. You may have some secret affair. But one thing we do see with this particular placement is that Moon causes a Dhan Yoga. Moon causes a Dhan Yoga. And especially if your Mercury is quite well placed in the birth chart and has source of strength to it, your income may come through either entrepreneurship, business, or dealing with communication. And like I was telling you about the mother, there's two things that happen, polar opposite. Either mother is the best friend or mother is the enemy. There's just these two different circumstances that play out. The other thing we see is that recognition and fame for the individual usually comes in through foreign sources, foreign lands. Somehow an involvement of foreign source occurs. And as unusual as it sounds, one's ability to travel to foreign lands or one's ability to get success in foreign lands may have some hand to play with a mistress or a lover who's not disclosed to the public. Whether it's because of your own insecurity, whether it's you being afraid, or whatever the reason is, that would play out. This is also the particular placement where you will create quite a bit of enemies, especially your spouse, maybe your enemy, or like most definitely she or he could be an enemy from past life, but constant arguments in the marriage. The communication of the marriage will most of the time will be spent in dealing with arguing, screaming, howling. But one thing is for sure with this particular moon is that anytime you travel for your career or you live away from home and family, you succeed and you defeat all competitions. You defeat all enemies. If you were to, let's say you're born in US, you go to, Canada, you go to South America, UK, or you go from California to New York, you're far away. Or from India, you come to US, you go to Japan, Singapore, you do very well. See, Moon in Gemini will do very well in a foreign distant place. Simple as that. The other thing we also see is usually if there's malefic impact on the moon, usually you'll always tend to get cuts, burns, and bruises on your hands. But your mother may suffer through your father with this placement. Great suffering will come to the mother through the father. Okay. So guys, this was my analysis of Moon in the first house for Gemini ascendant people. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you don't know where your Moon is placed, all the other astrological details, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.